So today we're going to be reviewing the first Star Wars book on this channel. So it's been some time, I've been reading out of other books, and I've finally gotten a Star Wars book finished to read. Helps when it's a library book, because you have to read it within a certain time, then return it. But other than that, the book I'm reviewing today, if you have not already read the title, which I don't know why you wouldn't have, but it's Star Wars Thrawn by Zahn. So, Timothy Zahn has written a new, he did write, and because it was written about a couple of months ago, I would say, a new book about Thrawn, the character he created in Star Wars Legends, but this time in a canon story, which I think is just great to see. So I did very much enjoy the book. There was a little bit, kind of thing. It's about Thrawn, but there is some jumping to other characters' perspectives, but everything connects back to itself. All connects to get back together to Thrawn, which I thought was which I enjoyed greatly. So actually, before I go too far into my review, because there's a good chance I'll spoil some of it, I'm going to just give you my rating of the book. Then I'm going to kind of just let loose, and I may or may not spoil the book, because like all reviews, this is pretty much all ad lib, because I want my reviews to be as genuine as possible, so I don't write a script. But anyhow, I've decided that I'll give Thrawn 4.5 stars out of 5, and the only reason why I did not give it 5 stars was because because how it did jump a little bit between other characters, and I kind of was like, cause one of the characters that jumped to a lot made perfect sense since he was Thrawn's aide. The other one made a little sense, connected nicely to the book, though I feel like was a little more out of place, but I did greatly enjoy it. Though I also wish this is getting kind of into spoiler territory, but the beginning of the chapter, each chapter started for journal entries from Thrawn, but you don't realize that until the epilogue, or the last chapter of the book. That's when you finally realize that the italicized text are actually from Thrawn's journal that he apparently was keeping during the time of the book. Kind of in a way, I kind of wish I knew that in advance. But then again, by knowing at the end, it does give it this neat little, what's the word I'm looking for? It's hard to say. It needed to, let's just say je ne sais quoi. I don't know what. That's what French is for, what je ne sais quoi is in French. I don't know what, but that's not how we use it. We use it more when we don't know quite how to describe something. And I don't know why I'm talking about this here, but let's just say je ne sais quoi is how I would describe it. But also it's because like some of the events in the book I knew because I kind of have watched other YouTubers reviews of it, and there and like 50 interesting facts on it from Star Wars Explained, I believe it was. I'm not sure if I get that correct, but yeah. But yeah, so I did kind of know some about what the book was going to go through, but I didn't know great details from the plot. Other things I do want to mention is that, of course, he appeared in Star Wars Rebels, and they reference one of the last events presented in this book. But it was kind of nice to see exactly what that event was, because in Rebels, all we knew that Thrawn defeated a rebel cell and there were high civilian casualties that were apparently within acceptable parameters, if I remember the episode correctly. But other than that, there was that was nice to know kind of how that exactly happened and who actually caused those civilian casualties, which I believe Thrawn suspects and knows, just isn't saying anything. But because I just want to say, early on in the book, I was reading the Thrawn's Eli Vanto, and I was like, okay, why wasn't he in Rebels? Why? And then in the epilogue, we do find out why. That's because Thrawn sends him to go help the Chiss out. Which I would love to see the Chiss in the upcoming sequel trilogy. Maybe not in The Last Jedi, but at least in episode 9, show us a Chiss. Because this is going to be a connection with Thrawn. I do wonder what happened to Thrawn after after Rebels. Because he obviously wasn't presented or wasn't around in the Galactic Civil War. The best thing I can guess is that he went back to be with his people unless he died. Honestly, I don't know what. I kind of want it to be he went back to his people, then he'll ally with the Resistance in the sequel trilogy. That would be great, but I doubt that. But I do want to know what happens to Thrawn in the long run, which I'm pretty sure we'll eventually find out. But it was nice to kind of know why his aide, Eli Vanto, was not present in Star Wars Rebels. It was nice to find that out from the book, which I talked about earlier in here. I'm just repeating myself. Also nice to see, because it did appear in Star Wars Rebels, one episode where Thrawn introduced that Agent Kaz had betrayed the Empire. That episode displayed seems like he is in Colonel Yularen, and he said Admiral. He was an Admiral during the Clone Wars, but beyond that. But Colonel Yularen almost displayed something like they knew each other, but we didn't get any background on that in Star Wars Rebels, which does kind of make sense. But so in the book we got to see that they knew each other decently well, and of course they never explained how they knew each other. But I think it was either Eli Vanto or Governor Price who speculated in the book Thrawn that it was because the Emperor had introduced them to each other, which kind of would make some sense. Give Thrawn introduce Thrawn to somebody other than himself to kind of help him through the things that Thrawn didn't know, which Eli Vanto also helped him with. That's namely the political scene, which is kind of nice to see also a military leader who wasn't that interested in the politics of everything. Kind of nice to see. But yeah, though I can say one thing. I could see somebody writing a fan fiction where Thrawn joins the Rebel Alliance. If you want, I could do that as like a what if on my Star Wars channel, which is with John Barry. You might have come from there if you're watching this. That's something I could do in the future, which I think I would love to do. That would make a nice little addition to my channel. So let me know if you're interested in that over on that channel. You can do that in the announcement video I made on that channel for this review. Since it being Star Wars and that being my Star Wars channel, but it's been my book review channel, I thought I'd direct people to this video on my book review channel rather than directing the people on my book review channel over to my Star Wars YouTube channel. But that's getting kind of off tangent. Oh, not off tangent. I'm going on a tangent. I'm getting off track. I should be really talking about the book Thrawn itself. So, would I recommend you to read this? Yes, I would. If you haven't read it yet, I would greatly suggest that you go ahead and read it. Pick it up. If you don't want to spend the money, I know that you can go check it out at the public library. And I also know that some other Star Wars YouTubers, sometimes you can they'll provide a link for like a free trial with Audible. I don't have that. I'm looking into it. But you can go check some other Star Wars YouTubers have done that. I'm kind of plugging them in here, but since I'm not doing that, might as well plug somebody else. But the public library is always a good choice when you want a book that you're going to read. You maybe, if you want to reread it, you just check it out again. But other things I do want to mention are, let's see. Oh yes, my typical thing I always do at the end of this. What would I change? I honestly don't know what I would change. Really, I don't think I would change too much. Yeah. But I don't even know if I would add anything. That's like some books are easy enough to tell that what I would add or something I would take away or something I would change, but I really just can't think of anything. So before I go on to my end spiel, I just want to mention I did like the connection at the end of the book to Rebels. Not the Rebels connection to Thrawn, but the Thrawn connection to Rebels. Does that make sense? Because in Rebels, we are told by events in this book, but in Thrawn we are given a short, brief thing about the Lothal Rebels. So that's like one of the last things in the book. I think, I believe it is in the last chapter. I wish I had mentioned that sooner, but yeah. So, thank you for watching this review. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to this channel for future book reviews. Also consider subscribing to my other channel, John Barry, for Star Wars and Star Trek content. If you enjoyed this review, you might enjoy the content I put out on that channel. Also, consider following me on social media. The links will be in the description down below. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Read books, and may the force be with you always.